A word of warning. Do not watch this alone. What lies beneath the sparkling streets of Paris is not meant to be explored by the living, because once you go down, you may not come back the same. Paris. We all know it as the city of light, the city of love. We picture the Eiffel Tower, charming cafes, and romantic walks along the Seine. But very few people know what exists, just a few stories beneath it all. Underneath the coffee shops, beneath the busy streets, underneath the millions of lives being lived every single day, there is a second city, a silent, sprawling metropolis. A city of the dead. This dark reflection of Paris wasn't built overnight. It was born out of desperation. Back in the late 1700s, Paris was facing a horrifying crisis. Its cemeteries were literally overflowing. The ground couldn't hold any more bodies. In some places, cemetery walls collapsed, spilling the dead into the streets and basements of nearby homes. The stench was unbearable, and the public health risk was massive. Disease spread through the air and water, turning the city into a ticking time bomb. The authorities needed a solution, and they needed one fast. Their answer was found deep underground, in the vast network of abandoned stone quarries that had provided the very limestone used to build Paris itself. So, night after night, for years, carts piled high with human remains rumbled through the quiet streets. The bones were brought down into the quarries, where they were carefully stacked, organized, and, for a time, forgotten. Or so everyone thought. It's hard to wrap your head around the sheer scale of what lies down there. We're not talking about a few dozen skeletons in a crypt. We're talking about the remains of over 6 million people. 6 million souls now resting in eternal darkness below Paris. Down in the catacombs, skulls line the walls like grotesque wallpaper. Femurs and tibias are arranged in decorative patterns, forming long, claustrophobic corridors. Entire tunnels are built not from stone, but from the dead themselves. This isn't a symbolic gesture. This is real. These are real human bones, and the tunnels they form stretch for hundreds upon hundreds of miles. A labyrinth of death that crisscrosses the entire city from below. The official network is estimated to be around 200 miles long. But many believe the true extent is far greater, a sprawling, uncharted underworld. It wasn't long before the workers tasked with this grim project started reporting strange things. They were the first to venture deep into this new kingdom of the dead, and what they found wasn't just silence. They spoke of whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves. They heard footsteps echoing in the darkness behind them, only to turn and find nothing there. Many described an overwhelming, constant feeling of being watched by countless unseen eyes. The deeper they went into the maze of bones, the more intense these experiences became. Some workers simply refused to continue, abandoning their posts in terror. Others, chillingly, just disappeared from the records entirely. It was as if the catacombs themselves were claiming them. The one consistent report was this: the deeper you went, the quieter it became. Not a peaceful quiet, but a heavy, oppressive silence, as if the very air was thick with dread. Today, only a tiny, sanitized fraction of the catacombs is open to the public. The vast majority of the network is illegal to enter, gated and sealed off from the world above. The signs aren't just for show, they're a desperate warning, because once you step off the official path and get lost in that endless, unmapped darkness, no one will ever hear you scream. The sign at the entrance reads, Arrête, c'est ici, l'Empire de la Mort. Stop. This is the Empire of Death. It's a warning. Yet, people still venture into the forbidden, off-limits tunnels. They are the urban explorers, the thrill-seekers, the curious. They crawl through narrow passages, wade through murky water, and navigate by the faint glow of headlamps. They seek adventure in the city's underbelly, but some of them, they never return. The catacombs stretch for hundreds of kilometers, a maze so complex that even the most experienced guides can get lost. Officially, only a small section is open to the public. The rest is illegal to enter, a vast, unmapped network known as the quarries. This is where the real stories begin, where the line between urban legend and horrifying reality blurs. Every year, search parties are sent into the depths to find those who have lost their way. Sometimes they are found, disoriented and terrified. Other times, all that's left is a mystery. What happens to those who vanish? Do they simply get lost and perish in the suffocating darkness? Or does something else find them first? One of the most chilling tales from the deep is that of the lost footage. In the early 1990s, a group of explorers exploring the deeper, uncharted sections stumbled upon a video camera. It was caked in mud, its battery long dead. After retrieving it and managing to restore the tape inside, what they saw was pure terror. The footage begins innocently enough. A man, seemingly alone, is exploring the tunnels. He's talking to the camera, his voice echoing slightly in the confined space. He seems confident, maybe a little arrogant, pointing out different bone formations and markings on the wall. But then, something changes. His pace quickens. The camera becomes shaky. He's no longer talking, just breathing heavily. He starts looking over his shoulder, his eyes wide with fear. The footage becomes a frantic blur of stone walls and skeletal remains as he begins to run. You can hear his panicked gasps, the scuffing of his boots, and something else. A faint sound, just at the edge of hearing, that doesn't belong. He's not running away from something. He's running towards something he thinks is an exit, but he seems to be getting more and more lost. In the final moments, he lets out a scream. The camera falls to the ground, landing with a sickening thud. The lens points up at a ceiling of skulls and bones. For a few seconds, all you can hear is the sound of his ragged breathing receding into the distance, followed by an abrupt, terrifying silence. Then, the tape cuts out. The man in the video was never identified. He was never found. His final moments remain a horrifying mystery, a ghostly recording lost in the endless night of the catacombs. Those who have dared to enter the forbidden zones often speak of a phenomenon far more unsettling than just getting lost. They call it the silence. It's not just quiet. It's a complete and total absence of sound. Experienced cataphiles, the name for those who illegally explore the tunnels, describe it as a physical pressure, a void that swallows every noise. Your own heartbeat becomes deafening. The sound of your breath vanishes. Shouting produces no echo. The sound simply dies as it leaves your lips. It's as if the very air has become thick and dead. At the same time, electronics begin to fail. Flashlights flicker and die, even with fresh batteries. Compasses spin wildly. Phones, of course, have no signal, but even their screens go black. Time itself seems to warp. A journey that should have taken an hour feels like it took minutes, or a short walk stretches into an eternity. Some emerge from the tunnels convinced they were gone for days, only to find that just an hour has passed in the world above. Others report more disturbing things. They claim the tunnels themselves shift and change. A passage they just came through is suddenly a solid wall of rock. A map that was once reliable becomes useless. And then there are the bones. The walls are lined with them, femurs stacked like firewood, skulls staring out from the darkness. Visitors have sworn that they felt watched, and when they turned back, a skull that was facing forward was now turned, its empty sockets seeming to follow them. They say the bones move when you're not looking. The silence is a warning. It's the catacombs telling you that you've gone too far. You've entered a place where the rules of the world above no longer apply. While authorities firmly deny it, rumors persist of entire communities living within the catacombs. These aren't just thrill seekers. They are the true cataphiles, people who have made the underworld their home. Legends speak of hidden societies, secret gatherings, and bizarre rituals performed in chambers deep beneath the city. Evidence of their existence is fleeting but tantalizing. Explorers will stumble upon a room that wasn't there before, fully furnished with tables, chairs, and even beds. Elaborate murals and strange graffiti will appear overnight on walls that were bare the day before. One famous discovery was an underground cinema, complete with a large screen, projector, and seating carved from the rock. all powered by a pirated electricity line. When authorities were alerted and went to investigate, they found it completely empty. The equipment was gone, the power line cut. All that remained was a note that read, "Do not try to find us." These phantom communities seem to be able to navigate the labyrinth with an impossible ease, vanishing as quickly as they appear. Are they descendants of quarry workers from centuries past? An anarchist subculture rejecting the world above, or something else entirely? Some of the more frightening stories tell of cult-like groups who don't just live in the catacombs, but worship them. They see the network of tunnels not as a tomb, but as a living entity, a god of bone and shadow. Their rituals are said to take place in the deepest, most inaccessible parts of the quarries, places where the silence is absolute and the darkness is eternal. Ultimately, the terror of the Paris catacombs isn't about a single ghost or a specific monster lurking in the shadows. The final fear is one of overwhelming scale. You are not walking through a haunted house. You are walking through a mass grave the size of a city. Every wall is made of the dead. Every step you take is over the bones of forgotten souls. 6 million people, doctors, lawyers, bakers, soldiers, children, their lives, their stories, their dreams, all reduced to anonymous remains, stacked and arranged for an eternity in the dark. The sheer weight of that history, that collective death, presses down on you. It's an oppressive, sorrowful energy that seeps into your very being. There is no single spirit to be afraid of, because you are surrounded by millions, and perhaps, after centuries of resting in this silent kingdom, they've grown possessive of their domain. They don't want to be disturbed. Some legends say the catacombs themselves have developed a consciousness, an ancient intelligence born from the fusion of rock, darkness, and 6 million souls. It is a place that remembers everyone who enters. And some say, the catacombs don't let go of everyone. They choose who gets to leave. For those they keep, the labyrinth becomes an eternal prison. Above, Paris shines, the city of love, of lights, of art, and life. But just a few meters below, in the cold, silent dark, the empire of death waits patiently. It is a place of history, of mystery, and of profound, primal fear. So if you ever find yourself in Paris, and you hear the faint echo of footsteps coming from a grate in the street, or a story about a hidden entrance to the world below, don't follow them. Stay in the light. Because once you enter the darkness of the catacombs, you might just become another one of its secrets. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the dark. If you want to uncover more mysteries that lie hidden beneath our world, make sure to subscribe to Tales of the Dark before it's too late.